Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Bitcoin Belgium. Today we're going to talk about the ARK Invest report, and it's called Big IDs 2023, and it goes about artificial intelligence, digital wallets, public blockchains, and Bitcoin, which are we going to discuss. Also smart contracts, electric vehicles, autonomous logistic, robotics, and 3D printing, and many more. So it's all about innovative technologies. So now let's go to the page we want to discuss, and that this is the first one. It's about the section about digital wallets and how it will disintermediate traditional banking and how it is at this moment actually working. Um, they state that there are 3.2 billion users that are using digital wallets, and that's 40% of the global population. And they expect that in 2030, the global population that are using digital wallets will be 65%. So yeah, let's take a look at some other charts. So digital wallets are gaining share in online and offline transactions. As you can see here, digital wallet in orange, they are gaining a huge market share the last years in with regards to credit cards, debit cards, and cash on delivery. Here you can see at page 45 how the traditional transaction works and how this new transaction system works with digital wallets. So you actually have only 3 steps between buyer and seller. So the buyer uses this wallet, then his digital wallet, then for example uses the BTC network, and then the seller also uses that network. And in traditional system, there are actually 9 steps and intermediaries that take a huge amount of fees, um, like the card networks, the payment service provider, etc. This part is about public blockchains, and in 2022, the contagion from Terra Luna, Three Arrows Capital, Celsius, and FTX wiped out 1.5 trillion in the crypto market capitalization. However, they argue that the public blockchains continue to foster the monetary, financial, and internet revolutions, and the long-term opportunity for Bitcoin, DeFi, and Web3 is strengthening, and they expect that cryptocurrencies and smart contracts could command 20 trillion US dollars and 5 trillion in market value respectively during the next 10 years, which is something which remains to be seen, but they expect it to be like that. And on page 49, you have a nice overview of all the things that happened in 2022. The red events are the bad ones, the bearish events, and the green are the bullish ones. The most important, I think, were the crypto ball, I mean, the Super Bowl. But many people call it a crypto ball because there are many advertisements for crypto companies during the Super Bowl, like FTX, Coinbase, and Crypto.com. Which was actually a bad sign because it's very similar to the dot-com bubble of 2001. And then in March, the Fed raises for first time their rates since 2018, which also is not a good thing for technology. The Terra Luna collapse happened in May of 2022, which was a very damaging event for the whole industry. Then Three Arrows Capital declares bankruptcy, afterwards Celsius. Then in the summer there was a good announcement, a bullish event, and which was a partnership of Coinbase and BlackRock. And also in September we got Ethereum successfully transitioned to proof of stake, which is a good thing in some regards, and in other regards maybe not so good, but we'll see in the future. and then crypto exchange FTX declared bankruptcy, which was, in my opinion, maybe the most bad event of the 2022. And then we also had lending platform BlockFi declares bankruptcy. Page 50, I think, is also a very interesting page. It is a nice table with all the most important information and their benefits. The first revolution is a money revolution. So instead of fiat currencies and central banking, we could develop to use a more global, decentralized non-state money. And that is, in my opinion, BTC the number one actually at this moment. It is global, it is far more decentralized than many other cryptocurrencies, and it is non-state money. So it isn't issued by a state or a government. The following part is about a financial revolution, and that's mainly about DeFi. So that is about the contracts outside of a central entity, outside of the traditional financial institutions. So we can skip counterparties in this regard. And then the third one is the internet revolution. That's mainly about Web3, and that is about interoperable user-owned web instead of corporate-owned platforms like we have most of the time today. So first, here the money revolution. What I really like about this report is that they talk about the problem and then they state some solutions or revolutions. So the centralized monetary system have failed to provide strong economic assurances. 4 billion people live under authoritarian regimes, so they can't choose which currency they want to use. 2 billion people suffer from double-digit inflation. Think about countries like Lebanon, Venezuela, Turkey, and many more. 1 billion people cannot use traditional payment transfer apps, and 1 billion people rely on remittances. Remittances are that if you live in another country, you can send money to your family. The only problem with this system is that the traditional remittance system uses a lot of fees. So maybe, for example, if you live in Singapore and you want to send money to Ghana in Africa, it can cost you around 8 to 30% of what you want to send. So now the revolution, Bitcoin is censorship resistant. So anybody can participate if they have a digital wallet, if they have a smartphone. They can all participate in the network. You don't need to open a bank account or something like that. Bitcoin is inflation resistant. At this moment, there is 90 million BTC outstanding, and there only will ever be 21 million. So the inflation rate is fixed. It is at this moment, I think, only around 2%, and it will never go higher than that 2%. Bitcoin is seizure resistant, so normally if you have your crypto on your cryptocurrencies like BTC and Ethereum on a hard wallet, the government can't seize it from you. And lastly, Bitcoin is auditable and transparent, auditable and transparent. So everybody can look at the BTC addresses online and can see how many BTC they own, which transactions they did, and it all will be that way forever. Nobody can take that away. This section is about DeFi, and more than 2 billion people lack access to basic banking services, including account management and credit. And traditional financial institutions has caused catastrophic financial collapses, like in 2008. And this is about the revolution. So DeFi eliminates traditional intermediaries. So you just have these automated smart contracts. They work on their own and they don't need an intermediary anymore. So there will be paid less fees. So that's actually better for the sellers and buyers, like consumers. DeFi is also global. Anyone with an internet connection can access this. Um, so it's not something only for Europe or America. Everybody in the world can use it. It is also interoperable. Um, the financial services are open source, which allows for rapid innovation and experimentation, and they also are auditable and transparent. Yeah, this is about Web3. I think it's interesting to also read this. It's about identity, digital online identity. It's about unique IDs, NFTs, etc. And page 54 is about that crypto assets could rival and redefine traditional asset classes. So this is their prediction for 2030. They estimate that the whole market of crypto assets will be worth 25 trillion, which is actually a 25x from today. So they expected that the market will 25x in around 7 years, 7 to 8 years. Um, we'll need to see if that is true, but that is what they are expecting. And this is a section about BTC. Um, yeah, it's true that BTC had a rough year in 2022, but the network itself just kept on going. It has not skipped a beat, and on the long run, the network is actually stronger because it's now more decentralized. Um, it is decentralized, it is audible, and it is transparent. And they think the price of one BTC could exceed 1 million in the next decade. What I don't like maybe about this is that they don't count for inflation, but yeah, it's just their prediction at the moment. And as you can see, despite severe drawdowns like BTC had in 2018, 2014, 2022, BTC has still outperformed every major asset class over longer term horizons, especially if you look at the compound annual returns um, and the average compound annual returns. So it is 152% for the 3 year, 187% for the 4 year, and 272% for the 5 year. So which is so much more than global equities and gold. Now let's take a look if there is just one more important chart. Yeah, and so this chart of page 64, institutions are committing even during the bear market, like BlackRock and Fidelity, the partnership of BlackRock and Coinbase. And Fidelity, they officially launched in November 2022 their retail Bitcoin and Ethereum trading. And I think this final chart is also nice to talk about. Um, it is about their predictions and how they are calculating their predictions. In their bear case, the 2030 price target of them is 258,000. Their base case is 682,000 and their bull case is 1.4 million. So I think um, in my opinion, the base case is more realistic than the bull case. The bear case, I think, is also possible, um, but remains to be seen. What I like about is that they have all their reasons why they think it could make it to that to those numbers. will be some kind of digital gold. They all list these reasons, right? So that I think that's a good thing. But that's all for today, guys. Have a good day and goodbye.